people were asking about the GSP fight because obviously GSP's been on the show before, and the word armbar kept coming up. I wonder if you could maybe talk us through inside the mind of Dan Hardy when he was in that brutal armbar that everyone thought was curtains.
I actually had a really good conversation with George about this. I think it's on the BT Sport YouTube channel, and we watched the fight through and discussed it. And it was. I mean, of course, I'm stepping into a world title fight against a guy that nobody else has really been able to get close to, and I knew everybody fully expected me to get submitted in the first round. I remember feeling so counted out that my determination was I'm just going to give everything that I've got, regardless of what happens, because that's the one thing that you can't question about an individual. You can tell when someone's given everything in a fight. And I also remember that, well, first of all, I'd already accepted that if a limb got broken, it was broken, and that's a part of the sport. I've been in a couple of deep arm bars before, and I've managed to scramble my way out of them. But scrambling my way out of them because I was already accepting that it might break, and I'm all right with that. Like that acceptance was a big part of the escape, because in the moments when I may have thought, okay, this is the point where it's going to break, and I tapped, I just didn't have that thinking in my head. The other thing I know is it's how difficult to break an arm. Like most of the time when we see a damage to an arm, it's dislocated at the elbow. Most of the time an arm doesn't break. I mean, a very rare circumstance when Frank Mir got Tim Sylvia, and that he broke both bones in his forearm, but that's heavyweight strength. I'm not thinking that GSP, no matter how strong he is at welterweight, he's going to be able to snap my forearm. So I knew that the only thing that was going to most likely happen was going to be my elbow dislocating. And I have very, very stiff elbows. I have very flexible shoulders and very stiff elbows from years of Taekwondo. So I knew he was going to have a really hard time snapping it, which was going to buy me some time to wriggle out of it. Second of all, I'm a Thai boxer. You know what I mean? Like the thinking for Thai boxing is, well, if you break one hand, you hit him with the other. If you hit him with a leg and you break your foot, then you kick him with the other foot, or you kick him with the swollen one. 8 limbs is 8 weapons, and I'll use one if I have one left. So it was a level of acceptance going into the fight, a level of stubbornness being in the fight, and also, I guess it's a level of technical understanding that I felt like I had just a bit of wiggle room for my elbow. So there wasn't enough control of my elbow for him to really fully hyperextend it without me being able to just kind of and just keep kind of switching over that fulcrum point. But ultimately, I mean, he could have killed me on that night. I wasn't going to give up. because the feeling of being counted out was one of the most motivating things I've ever felt. And stepping in there against GSP, knowing full well that nobody thought I was going to win. I think I was a plus 900 underdog or something ridiculous like that. It was my opportunity to prove to people that I wasn't going to go anywhere. So even if they didn't like me or they didn't think I was capable of being a top flight contender, the one thing that they wouldn't be able to question is my determination. And, I feel like if I've got anything, it's as a superpower, it's my determination. It's got me through a few bad spots in the past.